What's good, guys? Today we're going to be diving deep into boundaries. Have you ever noticed that when you're around certain people, they just don't get it? Like you can say it a million times, like, hey, I really don't like that, and then they do it anyway. Or you just start to feel drained. You're drained around people, or you feel guilty saying no. Well, guess what? That's your boundaries calling, okay? That is your boundaries calling. And today is the day we're going to talk about your boundaries and how they're non negotiable, okay? So, if that is you, today we're going to break this down. Let's go. Your boundaries are made to protect your peace, to protect your energy. And sometimes I get it. Like, people don't really understand, nor do they want to understand. I've recently had my own experience with issues with boundaries, right? And it's not that it's something that I care to talk about. However, I feel personally like that I will not back down from my boundaries. And here's why. I don't back down from my boundaries because I have learned on my healing journey that not allowing people to take over my space, take over my things, take over my mind, my subconscious space with negative energy or things that I do not desire is non negotiable. I have felt and been through so many things in my life. Like, I have just been in that space where now I understand myself a little bit better and I understand what I like and what I don't like because I'm on that healing journey. So, setting those boundaries, putting a stop to people disrespecting you, being in your space, whatever it is, making you feel guilty for you feeling the way you feel, it's non-negotiable. It's nothing they can do or say at this point. It's nothing they're going to be able to say and do at this point because you've already set in stone that it is not movable, removable, right? Now, let's talk about this, okay? So, boundaries are energetic and emotional limits, okay? They are energetic and emotional limits, right? That is defined as acceptable to us or what is not acceptable to us. So when we're thinking about that, it's just pretty much what you're allowing and what you don't allow. We get that. We understand that, right? Okay. So they help us communicate what we like, what we don't like, what we want, what we don't like, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. However, if you're not in that space where you're speaking, using your words to speak what it is that you desire and don't desire, they're not going to understand, okay? So it's important that you understand this. Now, these are the main four boundaries, okay? Emotional boundaries. It protects your inner world, like your feelings, your emotions. Number two, your physical boundaries. These protect your personal space, touch, or physical needs. Three, mental boundaries. These mental boundaries protect your thoughts, your values, and your opinions, okay? Number four, energetic boundaries. These are your spiritual energies and presence, right? So, when you lack these boundaries, people can easily drain you. They can easily take that energy, cross your limits, leave you feeling resentful and exhausted. Like, literally, exhausted, okay? Now, let's talk about why we struggle with these boundaries because I think that's important for us to understand and break down. Okay, most of us struggle with these boundaries because of fear of rejection, number one, people pleasing tendencies. This is like you just bending over backwards and be like, oh, okay, it should be fine. It should be fine because I don't want to argue with them. Oh, I don't want to have to go over there and say this again. I just don't want to have to. I don't want them to be mad. I don't want them to think it's my fault because I don't want them in my space. Like, I don't want them to be mad because I don't want them, doing this or that. But it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about your personal boundaries. And anybody who can't respect your boundaries is not worth being in your space. Okay? And that's mental, physical, emotionally, or spiritually. Okay? Now, childhood conditioning taught that, A childhood one is a big one. Okay, childhood taught us to overgive to be loved. You have to do more and abundantly for this person to love you. And nope, you don't have to do that to be loved. You don't have to overgive yourself. You don't have to overextend yourself to be loved. There are people who are going to love you because you are you. There are people who are going to love you authentically because you are you. You do not have to be an overgiver. You don't have to be an oversharer. You don't have to overdo anything for people to love you. Do you hear me? You don't have to do that. Okay? And the last one, guilt for saying no or choosing ourselves. Now, some of these I have suffered with before. I have suffered with the guilt part. I have had the people pleasing tendencies a little bit, not really a lot, because I was just the opposite end of the spectrum with that. Because I was an angry person at one point in time in my life. But fear of rejection is definitely a real thing, okay, guys? Like, I have been through these, so I know. And I recently have been dealing with this physical boundary thing myself. So listen, it's important that we understand that our truths are our truths. What we desire and don't desire is ours to have. You don't have to expect anybody else to care, but you don't need to back down from your boundaries when you set them. Okay? Because then you tell people like you're not really serious about those boundaries. Okay? So listen. But the truth is, healthy boundaries are acts of self-love, okay? And I had to learn this the hard way. I had to learn this the hard way. I had to learn how to and teach people how I wanted to be loved, talked to, and treated. Because the people that were in my life at the time, I feel like I was more so there for them, but they weren't there for me. You understand? So it's like being in that space where you are allowing yourself to be open to other people, but at the same time protecting your peace, your space, your energy, your love is self-love. Healing yourself is self-love, okay? It's self-care. And I think people get that a little messed up because they tend to think that self-care is, oh, I got my nails done, I got my hair done, I got my makeup on, I got, like, no, what about the inner you? The inner you needs to be taken care of. Are you doing that? Because you'll be surprised at how many people want to look like they got it together, but they do not have it together, okay? So don't be one of those people. Actually do the work for yourself and take it one day at a time. It's not something you have to jump, hop, and leap across the lake to do. You just take it a little bit at a time. Every day, just choose to love you more. Every day, choose to focus on your boundaries. Choose to set those affirmations that help you and align with that goal that you're trying to set. Because at the end of the day, this is going to catapult you to the healing progress that you are looking for. When you look back at yourself, boo, like you're going to be looking at yourself like, oh, dang, like I came a long way. I came a long way. And it's true. You have came a long way, and you're going to continue traveling on that journey because you're on the right map for you, all right? So, let's keep going. When you don't have boundaries, you betray yourself. And I think, ooh, that's a heavy hitter right there. When you don't have boundaries, you betray yourself because nothing is ever going to be what you want it to be because you're too busy trying to comfort other people. We're not doing that. We can't do that anymore. We may have been there, but that is non-negotiable now. That is a non-negotiable. And people are going to look at you like, hey, you switching up. You change. But guess what? You're supposed to change. You're supposed to elevate. You're supposed to keep rising up the ranks. You're supposed to. So don't let anybody make you feel bad for not enjoying the same stuff you used to, wanting the drama, wanting the mess, not even letting them put their drama on you. Because one thing that I noticed in our community is people will call you. They will judge you. They will call you to dump all of their stuff on you. They just dump it. Hey, they call you on the phone. They got to tell you all their problems, their woes. Woe is me. Whoa. This is bad. This is bad. I don't like this. And they did this to me. And they did that. And then you're left holding all those bags for them. And now they can just skip off into la la land as if nothing's happening. But you may be the type to be worried about that person. You may be the type, and I was definitely like this, okay? Like, I definitely would be worried about the people who were in my corner that were doing this emotional dumping, because this is a real thing. This is a real thing. Just setting those boundaries, like not answering that telephone call when they calling, switching the subject in the mid conversation. Like, these things have to be done in order to protect your peace, your space, and your energy, okay? Now, I know it sounds a little crazy, but you have to literally analyze this. Analyze it. Because at the end of the day, it's like, do you notice people calling you to dump? Okay? They're calling to dump all their energy on you. And then furthermore, you'll be the one left being angry while they didn't already forgave that person, went back to that person, like start talking to that person again, healed from whatever, and you're still holding on to it because you're still thinking about the situation and what they went through instead of looking at it from the highest light. So it's important that we decide and get clear about those type of boundaries. But that's one thing that I know, like negative, what is it called? Trauma bonding. It's trauma bonding. You don't want trauma bonding. You don't want to bond with somebody over trauma. You don't want to bond with somebody over mess. You don't want to bond with somebody over drama. You don't want that. So when people are calling you, setting those boundaries, I am love, light, and healing. If it's not about that, I can't talk right now. I'm busy. I have had to do this a lot. A lot. And eventually got to the point where people don't even call. Don't call me with your drama. Don't call me with your mess, because I'm not going to say what you want me to say. I'm not going to co-sign the mess. I just don't do it. I won't do it. So, when you don't respect your own boundaries, you betray yourself, because then you leave yourself open to others so you can make other people comfortable, so that you can keep the peace, but that's not actually helping you. It's not actually setting you up for the long run in a good space. It can cause you to burn out. It can lead to resentment, disconnection from your authentic self, because you are no longer in that space where you are living in your highest light, because of all the feelings and emotions that come with that. It's baggage. It's literally baggage, okay? It's literally baggage. So in order to avoid this, signs that you need stronger boundaries, okay? Let's talk about that. Because it's key here, okay? Your boundaries are everything, okay? It's your first defense, literally. It's your first defense to everything. Your boundaries, setting those standards so that people don't come at you with certain situations, and you don't have to people please, and you don't have to do any of that, right? So here are some signs that it's time to strengthen your boundaries. Number one, you feel resentful after helping people. Been there, done that. You notice that you'll start saying yes when you really want to say no. And a lot of times, we all have been there. A lot of the times, you're going to always end up frustrated because you said yes when you should have said no. Okay? You fear others will leave if you speak up. I don't know who this is for, but this is something that I think lots of people need to understand when it comes to setting those boundaries. You cannot be afraid to open up and speak out of your mouth what it is you desire and don't desire. And being able to speak up for yourself. Like I said, this is all like, your boundaries are your first defense. And if they don't understand, if they don't want to understand, it's just time to shift. Time to shift. That's all it means. Okay? Now, you feel responsible for other people's emotions. That is a big one. That is a huge one, actually. And you feel like people take advantage of your kindness. We all have been here, right? I know we've been there. If you've been here, if you've had any of these signs that you need a stronger boundary, type in the comment box, been there, done that. Because you being able to speak your truth, you being able to um literally be in that space where you can stand your ground and say, this is a non-negotiable for me, it's directly going to help you. Directly, okay? Now, how to set your boundaries, okay? Because this is the fun stuff right here. How to set your boundaries. Number one, you want to tune in. You want to tune into your inner self. How do you feel? When these things come up, where do I feel? Drained or resentful? When I'm around this person, how do I feel? When they're in my space, how do I feel? When they asking me for stuff, how do I feel? If you start to get angry, if you feel crossed, then it means you have crossed boundaries. You have allowed them to cross boundaries, okay? Number two, clarify your limits. Decide what isn't okay for you in a different area of your life, relationships, work, family, wherever you need them. Decide what it is that is okay and what's not okay. You need to clarify your limits, okay? Number three, communicate clearly. This is why communication is so important. Because if you cannot say it out of your mouth, I don't care if you say it in your voice shape. I don't care if you say it and you holding back tears. I don't care if you say it and you're holding back anger. I don't care how you say it. Just say it. Say it. Get it out there. Let them know, like, no, I just don't like that. No, I don't want that. But try to communicate it in a calm, direct way, okay? Example, I am not available for this conversation right now. Or I need time to rest and I will respond later. Or you could just say, hey, can we talk about something else? Stand firm with love, okay? Now, this goes out to definitely your family or whatever, right? Like, it's okay for you to say no with kindness. You can say no with kindness. You don't have to, you can smile when you say it. You can, you don't have to get upset and be angry and just be like, no, I mean now. Like, you don't have to do that unless you got to do that, then do you. But at the end of the day, that boundary is still love, okay? It's almost like when you're trying to protect your child from doing something and they don't really understand. Like, the answer is no. No, you cannot go to that party. No, you cannot do this. And they get upset. But they might not have realized in that moment that love that you were trying to give in that instance, right? So it's okay, but stand firm, stand strong, and say it clearly. Say it clearly, okay? And hold the honor of your energy. Honor that energy. Honor your energy. If something feels heavy, if something feels off, it is okay for you to walk away from it. It is okay for you not to talk to them people no more. It is okay for you not to communicate. It is okay for you to stand your ground. It is okay for you to tell them that is non-negotiable. Okay? You don't owe anyone access to your energy. Put that in the comment box. If you're ready to shift out of allowing people to run all over you, put in the comment box, I do not have to give people access to my energy. They don't deserve access to your energy, okay? They don't deserve access to your energy, and if you allow them to, they'll run all over it. They'll take it till there's nothing left. So you have to understand where your boundaries are standing, where you're trying to go, okay? Now, boundaries are meant to teach you in the world, the people in the world, the things in the world, how to treat you, right? So they are not punishments. They are your protection. They are not rejections. They are your redirections, okay? Back to you. Everything is reverting back to you. If I allowed people to just run over me, would I be walking in my highest self? Would I be would I be allowing them to walk in their highest self? Because sometimes people need those life lessons themselves. They need to hear you say no. They need to understand, like, no, you're not finna do this. No, you're not about to do that. They need to understand that. And that's the key here, right? So when we're thinking about it, like, you standing your ground is your self-love. It's your inner care. It's you. You have to hold tight to that energy. That energy that you're giving off when you tell them no, with kindness, with love, with a smile, it doesn't affect you as self in a positive way, because then you start to build that confidence that you can say no without the guilt. You can say no. And every time it come up in your head, stop yourself and say, nope, I did the right thing for me. Nope, I did the right thing for me. I always do the right thing for me. I always do the right thing for me. Like, and if you have to say it in a robotic affirming kind of way, then do that. But either way, stand your ground. Let them know with love and peace and light that, hey, no, these are my boundaries. No, they're non-negotiable, okay? So today, give yourself permission to protect your peace. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. Protect your peace, okay? And be unapologetic about it. Do not allow guilt to come in because you told somebody that you did not desire this thing, or you do not want that, or you do not want them in your space, or you do not want them to dump on you anymore, or whatever the situation is. But you understand that better than I do at this moment. However, giving yourself that time, that peace, that love, that light, that joy, that energy, that abundance to be able to manifest these big things that we desire in our life. Like, you're going to have to set your boundaries. No more living in lack. Okay? No more self-doubting. No more standing on my true power, on my true self. No more am I going to make myself small. These are boundaries. Okay? These are boundaries. So, comment below, what boundaries are you ready to start setting today? What boundaries are you ready to start setting today? Because I promise, guys, like, one of my boundaries is, number one, not making myself small for people anymore. That's not something that I am willing to do anymore. I am not willing to let people run all over my space. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to let people call and dump on me. I don't do that. I don't allow people to do dumping on me, because I'll be left holding their baggage. Their baggage, which they still go back and be doing whatever they were doing prior to, with that same person, with the same people, with the same group, and the same job, and the same thing. I don't allow people to dump on me, because I will be worried about them. But in the meantime, they'll be, they done dumped it. They done dealt with it. And they've been moved on, while you'll still be sitting there wondering, like, if they're okay, if the situation got handled, and worried about them, okay? So remember that your energy is sacred. Honor it like gold, okay? Honor them. Honor you. Honor who you are. Honor your inner truth. Honor your boundaries. Honor everything that you desire, okay? Honor it, because it's here for you. And there's nothing that can stop your boundaries. If you feel this way, what are they going to do? All they can do is get upset. Only thing they can do is to walk away from you in that moment. But you have to love you enough to know that you're worth that. You're worth that boundary, which is why you need to honor who you are, where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do, okay? It don't feel good to be in negative energy. It don't feel good to anyone, I think. But we get so used to being in these spaces. But instead of staying in these spaces, let's try every day, a little bit at a time, to fix our boundaries, to fix our emotional, physical, mental, spiritual boundaries, financial boundaries. Because it matters. No more am I going to be living in lack, guys. Like that was something that I made up years ago. Like I refuse. I am putting an emotional boundary between me and the thoughts of lack. This just can't, it just can't be. It just can't be. Because what I desire is something beautiful, it's something grand, it's something large. I desire something magnificent and humongous as far as like the things that I desire, the lifestyles that I want, the places I want to go. I desire grand, okay? So in order for me to get there, in order for me to be there, I have to remove those things that are no longer deserving of my time. And it doesn't have to be about people. Your boundaries could be with yourself and food. Your boundaries can be with yourself in spirituality. Your boundaries could be with you in finances, okay? No longer are you willing to sit back and allow yourself to live in squalor. Okay? Like I'm just saying. Like I just don't I just don't understand why, we are even put in these situations where we have to do this in the first place, right? I feel like people should just naturally respect people's boundaries. I feel like we all are meant to be wealthy. I feel like we are all meant to live this beautiful grand life. So for me, my energy is always wishing everybody the best love, peace, and light. So guys, if this video has resonated with you, in the comment box, drop me I am ready to set my new boundaries, or just type new boundaries. Either way is fine. However, I want to communicate with you guys. So drop in the comment box, what are you willing to change? Where is it that you see the change? Is it mentally? Is it physically? Is it emotionally, spiritually, financially? Like, where is the boundaries that you are about to set happening or taking place, right? And I wish you guys nothing but peace, love, and joy, and light and love more abundantly. I pray that you get all your desires, all your wishes, your dreams come true, and that you are manifesting at a rapid, unexplainable rate, that everything you desire comes and manifests times 10 million, okay? Like, you deserve that peace, you deserve that light, you deserve everything that you desire, right? On some higher light stuff, right? Now, until next time, guys, peace.